Okay, hopefully you can see me. I can't see the phone. But okay, my project is on traffic law awareness and just about how people aren't aware of the traffic laws, or they lose, or there's like a lack of awareness, I guess. Okay. Alright, so my intro is I got in a car crash on Halloween, and it was before school, and I was well behind this Tesla, and we were going significantly faster than the other lanes, but someone in a slower lane decided to cut off the Tesla, and the Tesla, you know, being such an AI car, basically, it was ready to stop. Whether the driver was ready to stop or not, the car was ready to stop. But that leaves me with a 2012 Honda Accord and my reaction time having to stop at the same time. And as you can see, I tried to get out of the way, but I still ended up hitting them on the left rear end and my right front end. And it was really unfortunate, and this was like the first car incident that I had where it really wasn't my fault, and I just got unlucky, and by law it's gonna have to be my fault, but insurance companies are still figuring it out, but by law it technically is my fault. Okay, so the problem, I wanted to address this because I think that we all drive at least once a month or every day, and it's important for us to know, like, we don't need to be that petty when driving, and we need to be more aware of, like, in this instance, if they used a turn signal, everything would have been fine. It would have saved me and the Tesla driver a lot of money and damages, and it could have saved a life if they used a turn signal, but they didn't, and they don't realize how important it is and why we have these traffic laws. And so I think it applies to most of us because most of us drive a lot. I only know a few people in this class that don't have their license, or, you know, have other people drive them, but I think the majority of us pretty much have basically all of the petty little experiences where people cut us off, or people just, you know, ignore that we're right there and they're about to hit us. But okay, so the problem is that drivers, at least 1/4 the drivers break at least one traffic law every day. So that means that the drivers are not, like, they disobey the traffic laws on a daily basis, which means that this habit needs to break, because we're losing money and we're losing lives over and over. So, and then 85% of drivers couldn't define what to do at a yellow light, and I think it's kind of common sense just to know what you do at a red light. You know, you go when it's green, you stop when it's red. Obviously, you slow down when it gets to yellow. And then 1/4 drivers don't know, or can't know how much space to allow between two cars. So between you and the vehicle, there should be three cars length, and people don't know that, I guess. So, and then the top 5 causes for car accidents would be distracted driving, speeding, drunk driving, reckless driving, and rain. So distracted driving, being number 1, is probably the easiest to avoid. Going on your phone, eating in the car, trying to stay awake, being aware that you're driving for a long time, so you need to find ways to stay awake, and, you know, not driving with people that can distract you. And it's just simple things that people don't realize could save you a lot of money and could save a life. And then speeding, people just think that it's worth it to go fast rather than, you know, taking the time to get ready and giving yourself time so that you don't have to rush. And if you give yourself that time, you might be saving a life. And then drunk driving, people would rather kill other people than pay, I don't know, maybe $20, $30 for an Uber home. And that life is definitely not worth $20, $30. It's priceless. So you just have to consider who you're driving around and what the right thing to do is. And then reckless driving, just, people just act like idiots on the road, and they act like no one else is on the road, and they end up getting the consequences of it with damages and losing lives. And then rain is just something that is inevitable. I think, however, the problem is that people dismiss it and they think it's not really that big of a deal, but people need to be more aware that it can really kill people, and it can cause a lot of damage and the loss of many lives. And people know what to do, but they panic and they're unprepared. And I think that preparing them more would be sufficient. So my solution is drivers' yearly exams or like refreshers, and they would be a 2-part exam, which would be a driving exam and then an oral/computer exam where you would be with like a supervisor or something, and they could ask you the question and they can put it in the computer and make sure that you're not cheating and make sure it's coming from your mind. And then the cost would increase or would decrease the older you get, because the older you get, you should know better, and you should know you've been driving for longer, you should know the traffic laws. So you shouldn't have to pay for knowing things. Accessibility meaning like, how blood drives are accessible anywhere. They just come in with a trailer. I think it could be something like that, where it just kind of drops at one location and drops at another and drops at another, and then they can notify you. They can, like, the state's government can notify you and tell you, hey, you can take your exam right here. They'll be here at this time, and this time, and you could schedule your test, or you could just come in and take it. And I just think it shouldn't be limited to only the DMV, because people don't really like DMV. And then it's just no harm. Like, there's no harm in educating yourself just a little bit more to save a few more lives. Even if it's just saving one more life, it's worth it. And then objections would be like, oh, going to the DMV is a hassle. That's why we have more accessibility in multiple ways. And then financial status, but the price goes down as you get older, so it's not like you're spending millions of dollars on these tests. It's just to ensure that you can keep your license and you are driving safe. And then I think older people would feel a little bit targeted, because with common like brain illnesses like Alzheimer's and stuff, they tend to forget, and they don't remember things that easy as like 20-year-olds. But I think decreasing the price would kind of accommodate for those old people, and if anything, it would just help maybe old people to diagnose what they have. Maybe they don't know that they have Alzheimer's, but these exams could help them get some help if they do. But I don't think it would be any harm to the old people, and I think maybe if it's that big of a problem, then we could give them, 60 and above can get a different exam, maybe an easier exam. So visualization A would be, just a happy road. Everyone gives each other enough space. Everyone uses their turn signals. Everyone isn't petty. Everyone's just happy. And I think the majority of us drive a lot, and so we spend a lot of our time driving, and if you have a bad day driving, it kind of ruins your whole day. So, but no one's gonna cut in front of you because they know the great driving etiquette, so you'll have a great day, your life will be better, and you'll feel happier. And then visualization B would be just crashes everywhere, death everywhere, lives lost, ton of damage to pay for, just horrifying stuff. It's just sad and dark, and that person probably didn't use their turn signal and they caused all this trouble. So it can just small things can ruin lives. So taking the action of using exams would be more of like a federal thing, where we would have to go to the state government and the White House and implement this exam. But for now, we can use our turn signals, we can tailgate, we can drive sober, not drink and drive, do not speed, give yourself enough time to a point where you don't have to hurry, and consider the lives around you, and consider the consequences that you could get if you don't follow just these simple rules. And forget your ego, stop being petty, just let those people cut in front of you, and it'll be fine. You'll feel like a nice person, I promise you. Whenever I let someone cut in front of me, I just feel like I made their day. So just drive better, be better.